The champions have yet again dropped points as they draw 2 each with St Mirren, and I tell you what, they were very lucky to even get a draw at this game in my personal opinion. But Fog Football back again with another match review. We've already done Hearts 2, Aberdeen 1, and we're here to talk about another game as St Mirren travelled to Glasgow, the small journey to Paisley, and yeah, I think they should have won, personally. I feel like Curtis Main could have had about 5 fucking goals in this game, but he didn't, so you gotta move on, I guess. But it would have been a massive win for St Mirren. It really would have been. I feel like if they won, they still had a realistic chance of pushing it potentially for third. I think it would have took them on to what, 49? Maybe not third, but there's still a decent chance of like 4th, 5th. I mean, to be honest, they've still got a decent chance to beat Hibs, but a win would have been massive. It would have gave them all the confidence in the world. But I mean, I was talking about earlier, well, did I give St Mirren much chance of beating Aberdeen at Pittodrie? Don't see why not after a performance like that today. But we kick off the game. Greg Taylor, not Greg Taylor, Awata and Ralston, just completely disaster at the back. The ball eventually falls to Curtis Main, and he doesn't even hit that good of a shot. Joe Hart's awful here, right? And to be honest, I've never rated Joe Hart, and he's lucky he's had competent defenders in front of him for most of his Celtic career, albeit today it's been pretty fucking diabolical for a Celtic point of view. This was laughable. 2 weeks in a row, and it looks like the fringe Celtic players just aren't exactly delivering. But then again, I'm not a Celtic fan. They're all throwing these players under the bus, which is kind of funny. But yeah, and Greg Taylor slips, and very easily could have been 2-0 if Curtis Main, obviously if he scores it, like, but I mean, another slip at the back, but I guess slips can kind of be forgiven. But the ball is played through to Furuhashi. He shoots. It's a great finish, Furuhashi. Then what he does, absolutely no two ways about it. Furuhashi is a phenomenal player, and he gets a chance 9 times out of 10. He's going to absolutely smash it into the back of the net. As much as he has a tap-in merchant, this was not a tap-in. This was a good goal. So a bit of fair dues for me. Celtic are dominating possession, not really doing an awful lot with it. They do have a chance when Maida headers the ball down in Dan O'Reilly's shot, but Carson saves it. Brilliant. We go into half-time, 1 each. Celtic, or was it 1 each at half-time? I believe it was 1 each at half-time, but then we go into the second half, where Celtic just can't clear their lines. O'Hara hits a header through to Curtis Main, who puts it in to the back of the net, and it's 2-1. Great finish for Curtis Main, but he hits the bar as well later on, and that was to make it 3-1, and that would have absolutely wrapped this up, but guess what? It didn't. And yeah, I mean, also to make it 2-1, they were played on by Calmac, which is kind of funny, because that's Calmac costing Celtic quite a few goals, although I think playing someone on is not quite as bad as what he did at Ibrox last week. But after Main hits the post with a header, oh no, it doesn't hit the post with a header. The chance goes over with a header. He then hits the post, which he completely comes in for the left flank, destroys Celtic. Joe Hart stuck, root it, good night, hits the post, and then goes up the other end and it hits the post, absolutely insane. And then Calmac makes it 2 each, curls it past Trevor Carson, and then after this the game kind of died. Would have been interesting if St Mirren won, but Celtic haven't been good the last couple of games. You know, they drew with Motherwell, were shite. Kevin Van Veen fucking wrecked Greg Taylor. Against Hearts, they were gifted a fucking red card, which I don't think was a red card. Awful against Rangers, and then not very good today. So, is this problems for Celtic going into next season? It could be, but at the end of the day, they've not too much to complain about. They're on for a treble. But if they play like this, I mean, you've got to give Inverness half a chance of doing something. So, it'll be interesting to see where that can go, guys. But make sure you comment, subscribe, and yeah, like all these reviews. What game am I going to review next? Livy pumping Dundee United. Kelly getting beat by St Johnstone with Motherwell. 99 minutes. Kevin Van Veen yet again scoring for Motherwell. Insane. But anyway, till next time. Peace.